This piece is called Mystery Spot 95065. And it begins with this quote. This is someone's paradise, but it's not mine. And that is Ronaldo Lopes de Oliveira, Brazilian. Santa Cruz is someone's paradise. Funny thing for a Brazilian to say. Don't those handsome, naked bronze people from the southern hemisphere live in paradise? What about their paradise? And what about the surfer dude in the lighthouse beacons guarding our looking glass world? Long ago left to us by the Hawaiian Duke Kahanamoku. Our looking glass paradise. Paradise lost, paradise regained, Paradise Central, California. Throne of the most regal female Calipha, Calafia. In the 16th century novel, Queen Calafia of the mythical island, California, fights with her virgin army of black Amazons, their golden weapons and terrible griffins, to regain Constantinople for the mortals, only to be defeated and converted to Christianity and to marriage. This mythic history was lovingly remembered in the documentary Golden Dreams, featured until a few years ago at the Anaheim Disney California Adventure Center, with Whoopi Goldberg narrating as Queen Calafia with her mythical griffin, the great extinct grizzly, at her side. In 25 minutes, you got the Chumash, the Spanish missions, Japanese picture brides, the Mulholland water scandal, freeways, and Steve Jobs. Whoopi, California. This is someone's paradise. And now, where are the Amazons? Next quote. Children, neophytos, bestes, and still it is the same sky, the same night circle, the same night arches like a reed house, the stars of their birth. That is Lewis Owens in Bungay. A birthing ground, a burial ground, sacred or haunted, profaned. What happens when you plant a holy cross on an ancient Indian burial ground, layers upon layers of slaughter? Indian author Lewis Owens wrote about the curse of mixing blood, churning the earth with dismemberment that produced an appropriated new age, a new white colony with its literal pundits and new savage practitioners. New blood to appease an old age. Some hippie dude migrating from the summer of love, right from here, couldn't get laid for the next decade. It's not the weed that slows things down, could be it just makes everything stop. Stop in the name of love. The next decade after the summer of love contained a cycle of murders and dismemberment. Serial murders, meaning this murder is like that murder is like that last murder. 3 men killed a family of 4 and 21 women in 3 years. 7 of the murdered were Asian Americans. A serial poem to death. And before that, Alfred Hitchcock got wind of a newspaper report about 1,000 crazed seabirds, sooty shearwaters that crashed into homes, broke windows, pecked residents, regurgitating anchovies before flopping dead onto the streets. Thousands of stinking dead dark birds were shoveled into trucks the next morning. Talk about ecology for a new age. To continue, Hitchcock put a psychopath in one of the Victorians on Beach Hill. This is how the dark cloud of noir blackened the sunlit California seacoast. Some hippie dude who couldn't get laid said it was an old Indian curse. Next quote. Yet, here's a spot. Out, damn spot, out, I say. Lady Macbeth. Cruz marks the spot, the oracular crossroads sanctified in these parts because at the cruise, Oedipus fulfilled his destiny to kill the patriarchy. Whatever happens later, incest, happens somewhere else. But at the sainted cruise under the shadow of the fog that slips in and out with the moon tides across the mountains, that's the legacy we get left. Cruisians become fatherless munchkins. Ding dong, they sing and they query, are you a friend of Dorothy's? It's Mother's Day, and the grandmother of everyone is Asako. She's my mother, she's 96. Who's made it to 90. We celebrate at the Hillside Chaminade festive all-you-can-eat brunch at a long table of maybe 20. The only guy there is our neighbor, the historian David. But Asako, who's seated at the head of the table, still asks about the 20 guests. Now, who are all these men? She's 90, so she gets to be confused. It's the weekend of the Feminist Studies Conference. How to tell Asako her Mother's Day has been hijacked by the Dyke Ladies Society. Oh, she says, but then, quick recovery. I wasn't born yesterday, you know. The shamanade proceeds to take a hit since our table eats out everyone prime rib to made-to-order omelets 3-to-1. And how many gallons of mimosa? You talking? Overlooking Chamanade's valley with a sweep of May sunshine, feminist scholar Angeli remembers that the mystery spot is somewhere nearby. It's the tourist attraction featured on bumper stickers. You better not take Asako there, Angeli said. It's not advisable for older people and anyone with a heart condition. What are you talking about? For God's sake, it's an optical illusion. No, seriously, I looked it up on the internet. It's one of 8 magnetic spots on the Earth. Angeli must be one of the smartest intellectuals I know. Scientific and geographical internet research reveals that this is apparently about 150 foot in diameter space-time anti-gravity vortex. Or it could be a UFO activity. Go figure. Le cigare volant. At the Feminist Studies Conference, someone might have given a talk on female ejaculation. There's even a documentary film that goes with it. When you learn about this, you're sitting between 2 South Asian sisters, Pratima and Paratana. They might be twins, but their names are differentiated, they tell you, by an M and an N. Oh yes, they agree. When we were growing up, we were identified as Caucasian. Asians from the Caucasus. But then we came to Philadelphia, and there was all that dot-buster shit. Now this Indian lore jams into crews. Spots and dots, magnetism and ejaculations, titter-titter. But back to ding-dong. Every night for 7 nights at about 3 a.m., some car out there goes berserk with honking. At first it's just beep beep. So you turn over and think, get out and catch your damn ride. But then it goes off like a car alarm and you snarl in your pillow, steal it, steal the fucking thing. This goes on nightly with a pattern, serial car orgasms. You check the clock, it's 3 a.m. Plus, the heating system always goes on. Even the house knows it's too cold to get out of bed to be a witness. The next nights you dream about dead bodies fallen or invasive vermin pouncing on the wheel. Maybe it's a neighbor's cat that's jumped on the car. Could be a coyote or a raccoon or a barn owl. You call faculty housing and complain. Angeli says, you look tired. Then, dude, she explains, that's my Mazda. We can't do anything about it. For some reason, the horn goes off. It's a mystery. Her partner, Lucy, says, don't tell anybody, it's so embarrassing. Years later, make a choice to see this film, Albert Nobbs, in which Glenn Close plays a 19th century Irish male waiter and sit in the Nick Theater between 2 colored homosexuals, in the broader sense of the word, who groan over you like call and response. God knows Close could have done some cruising before she turned Nobbs into a pathetic simpleton. No relief, not even the tattered endearment of Charlie Chaplin. Plus, the colored homosexuals are scholars of critical theory. Yammer, yammer. And the most exciting moment is when Janet McTeer pinched a rolled cigarette between her lips to free her hands to unbutton her shirt to reveal her gigantic bosom. Nobbs gasped the same gasp that the white audience gasped in M. Butterfly, when the Chinese butterfly exposed his penis. It's a mystery, cruising for a bruising. What the fist? Some mysteries get punished. Serial killers go to prison. Oedipus blinds himself. M. Butterfly's Frenchman commits ritual suicide. Glenn Close is only nominated for the Oscar. Some mysteries get solved. Turns out the Mazda protege has her quirks. When the temperature dips, the horn freezes, which triggers the honking spasms. The mechanic explains, it's sensitive, see? You got to keep her warm. I suggest a hot water bottle and a blanket. Is someone studying this? You bet. This is that queer technology stuff interrogating the cyber versus the goddess. Check it out, Queen Calafia. This is your dark paradise. This is your mystery slot.